Hey you, yeah, you watching this right now. If you don't click the like button in the next 6 seconds, you're gonna wake up tomorrow and then get attacked by an angry grizzly bear. Hey, hi, what's up? Welcome back to another video. Today we're taking a look at some more deleted Fortnite items because Epic Games keeps deleting stuff out of Fortnite. They keep going through massive waves of deleting and vaulting, and all of our favorite weapons end up getting taken out of the game. Let this sink in real quick. Okay, you need to sit down, brace yourself for this because it's gonna hit you like a tidal wave. There are currently more items sitting in the vault than are in the game. Yeah, more stuff is in the vault than you can actually get your hands on right now, and that to me is just a little sad because I've become attached to weapons and items and I love them, and then Epic is like, haha, no, you don't get these anymore, and they're vaulted, and then we're left there all sad. So yeah, we're gonna go through some more deleted items here in Fortnite. Let me know down in the comments what your favorite item is that's been vaulted, and yeah, without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. Roll it. Alright boys, for starters, we have an absolute OG item, the wall dynamo. This is one of the original traps in Fortnite. You'd place it down, and then when anybody would walk by, they would get zapped, microwaved, and just turned into a pile of jelly. Now this was never the most practical trap. It was not ever as good as a spike trap because it made a lot of noise. You would place it down, it would make a constant humming ding sound. Sounded a lot like a microwave, which is why it got nicknamed the wall microwave, or just the microwave, right? But because of that humming, nobody ever really used it, and then it got removed. I think instead of removing it, they should have just nerfed the sound it made and left it in, because it was pretty cool, and it just looked awesome when it zapped people. It would just fry them, and then bam, you got yourself an elimination. I've always been hopeful that it'll return to the game somehow in the future in like a modified version. Next, we have something I still can't believe got vaulted, the Pump Boy. The legendary pump shotgun, the absolute OG Pump Boy, was taken out of the game at the start of Season 9, and I still just can't wrap my mind around why they vaulted it. It was an amazing weapon, probably the best weapon in the entire game. Everybody used it, everybody loved it, and never once in my entire time playing Fortnite did I hear anybody go, you know what really needs to be vaulted? That stupid pump shotgun, it just kills me too dang much. Said literally nobody ever, and then Epic Games was like, hold up, we got ya, vaulted, and now it's gone, and we're left with the tactical shotty, because yay, tax. But I mean, for real, I can't believe they took it out. I love this thing. I think everybody did. Probably one of the most iconic weapons in Fortnite history is the Pump Boy, and now it's sitting in the vaults. And honestly, no shotgun will ever live up to the awesomeness which was the Pump Boy. So can we please get a very big rip in the chat for the pump shotgun? Next on the list, we have possibly the most useless item that was ever put in Fortnite, the sneaky snowman. It's exactly what it looks like. It turned you into a snowman, and yep, that's pretty much it. You could turn into a snowman and then run around as a snowman, except you couldn't shoot or build while you were a snowman, making it really dang useless, and nobody ever picked it up, so it's pretty obvious why this was taken out of the game. For real, boys, I still don't know what they were thinking with this one. This is kind of how I imagine them coming up with this idea. It's early in the morning. All of the Epic employees are hungover from vaulting all the cool items, and they're sitting around going, you know what, we need ideas. And then little Timmy jumps up and goes, I know, guys, I have a great idea. How about we add in a snowman? And then all the Epic employees look at each other, clap one another on the back, and go, good job, Timmy. As always, you're spot on. And then boom, that's how the sneaky snowman was born. Up next, we have another classic item, the Portafort. Now, of course, as the game went along, this got more and more useless, but during the early days of Fortnite, this thing was actually really cool and pretty useful for bad players. Back during the first couple of seasons, no one really knew how to build except for a very select few pro players, and this kind of put everybody on a level playing field. A bad player could throw it down, instantly have some cover or some high ground, and it was pretty cool. But as the game went along and people got better, this thing got more and more useless until it was ultimately vaulted. Here we have one of only a few items that have been vaulted twice. Yeah, that's right, the clingers. They have now been vaulted 2 separate times, this being the second of those times. Clingers have once again returned to the vault. At this rate, I wouldn't be surprised if they unvault them eventually and then vault them again, because why not make them the first item to be vaulted 3 different times? Obviously, they were vaulted because they just get to be a little spammy. You know, clingers usually don't get direct eliminations. They're just used to be pretty obnoxious, and you just get spammed in-game by tons and tons of clingers, which stick to your builds and make you a turbo build and just get pretty dang obnoxious. So that's why they are vaulted. I'm honestly not sorry to see them go, but I am kind of hoping they come back and then they're then vaulted again, making them the first item to get vaulted 3 separate times. That would just be funny. Here's an item that I can't believe wasn't vaulted sooner, the balloons. Now, when these were originally added to the game, they were pretty useful because you also had glider redeploy. So you could float way up into the air, let go of the balloons, then pop redeploy and fly pretty far, making it a great mobility and rotation item. But then later on, they removed glider redeploy as a standard feature for everybody, and you had to find glider redeploy as an item. So if you wanted to use balloons and glider redeploy, it was going to take up 2 inventory slots and just not be all that useful. So I thought when they took out glider redeploy, they probably should have removed balloons as well, but they didn't, and they left balloons in for a couple more seasons, and just about nobody used them except for mega noobs. Occasionally you would see a noob, you know, floating around with balloons, and it would just make them the world's easiest target, because when you're floating 15 feet up in the air and you can't use the weapon, you're just a super duper easy target. So I love just sniping kids with balloons all day long. I called them floating piñatas or loot bags because they would just deliver themselves to you in a nice little balloon package, and you would get yourself an easy elimination. So honestly, I can't believe these lasted as long as they did. Next up, we have something a little more controversial, the suppressed scar. This was also removed at the very beginning of season 9. It had been in for quite a while, but personally, I never liked this item. I know some people love the suppressed scar, but to me, it always just felt like a crappier version of the normal scar, mostly due to the fact that it had a ton of bloom. This was not an accurate weapon. You could fire a gazillion shots and have half of them miss, and that just always left me feeling not all that great about this weapon. I would always take a normal AR or a SCAR or an AK over it because they were just more accurate. So I know this one's like 50-50. Some people loved it, some people hated it, but personally, I'm not too sad to see this one go. Here we have another weapon. I cannot believe it took them so long to vault, the thermal scoped assault rifle. This thing was just plain awful. It had an incredibly slow fire rate. Nobody wanted to use scopes in this game at all. Unless the sniper rifle, you don't want to scope on it. No one likes the scoped assault rifles, except maybe for like that one guy. If you're watching, you know who you are, but 99% of people hate scoped weapons in Fortnite, and this thing was just atrocious. It was so not good. You could take almost anything over it and be better off, mostly because of the fire rate. Look at this thing. It just shoots so slow, so terribly slow. If you got stuck with one of these things, you were hating life. So I'm actually really glad this thing is gone. It was awful. And while we're on the topic of useless weapons, we have bottle rockets. These were actually a really cool idea, but just turned out to be utterly useless. You would throw down a brick of bottle rockets and it would lay down, well, a bunch of suppressive fire, which I think is what they were going for. It was supposed to be a distraction type item or something to keep someone pinned in their 1x1, except it sucked. It did basically no damage and took about half of the bottle rockets to destroy a single wall, making it useless. So yeah, those are gone now and nobody misses them. Up next, we have the treasure map. This was actually an item I was a little sad to see get vaulted. It wasn't anything crazy. It was pretty simple. You would follow the treasure map and it would lead you to an X. Then you would pickaxe the ground, dig yourself up a chest, and you were guaranteed some cool golden loot. Again, it was nothing amazing, but it was just one of those, oh hey look, I found some buried treasure kind of things. That was cool. It was unique. It was interesting. And I was a little disappointed when it got taken out. Lastly, we have this scoped revolver. This is actually the 3rd revolver that's been added to Fortnite and then deleted. There is somebody at Epic that just really wants there to be a revolver in the game, and they just can't get it right because they keep trying to add different ones and then they keep getting vaulted. The scoped revolver was cool in theory, but it just wasn't all that practical. It was one of those weapons that sort of came in at a middle ground, right? It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. There was almost always something better you could have than the scoped revolver. So while it wasn't bad, it just wasn't ever all that great either, which is why it ended up getting vaulted along with the other revolvers. I swear, at this rate, they are going to add another revolver. It'll be in the game for like a week, and then they're gonna vault it too, making it the 4th vaulted revolver. I guarantee it. Just give it a month. There's gonna be a new revolver, and then it'll get vaulted. And well, guys, there you have it. Those are some more deleted items here in Fortnite. Hopefully, this is the last one of these videos I have to make for a while because Epic has decided to stop deleting stuff. But who am I kidding? Chances are they're going to go through and delete a whole bunch of more stuff next week because they just can't stop deleting our favorite items. So Epic, if you're watching this, stop deleting stuff. Just leave some of it in, would you? Huh? I'm tired of making these. I want to break. This is the 3rd one I've made in the last couple of months because you've deleted everything. Anyway, guys, that's about it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to drop a like on it. Subscribe if you're new. And again, thank you so much for all the support recently. The channel has been banging. You guys have been super supportive and it's awesome to see. So thank you. And yeah, I hope you have a great day. I will catch you in the next one. Peace, everybody.